We'll continue our discussion of building your foundation as a helper by discussing the 4 stages of helping. There are 4 stages through which you'll guide your client as you work with them to bring about change. Those stages are establishing an effective therapeutic relationship, assessment and goal setting, strategy selection and implementation, and evaluation and termination. So the first stage of helping is establishing an effective therapeutic relationship. And the research consistently finds that the quality of the therapeutic relationship accounts for a substantial amount of client change. So about 30% of the improvement that your client makes is attributable directly to the quality of the relationship that you build with them. So this is the foundation of all the work that you do as a therapist. You can master all the interventions, all the methods, but if you're not skilled at developing a strong relationship with your clients, your work will be ineffective. From some theoretical perspectives, like person-centered therapy, the relationship is the only necessary change agent. So from this perspective, you improve your client outcomes purely by developing a strong, safe relationship with them. So no other intervention is needed other than building that strong relationship. From other perspectives, the relationship is necessary but not sufficient for client change, meaning you have to have that relationship. It's necessary for change to happen, but it's not sufficient, meaning you need other interventions in addition to the relationship to bring about change in your client's behavior. The second stage is assessment and goal setting. This is where you help the client explore their concerns and their wishes. So what's going on currently and what they wish was so, what changes do they hope to make? And the information that you obtain from your assessment is used in planning your strategies. It's used in selecting your interventions. Now, your assessments can be formal or informal. Probably more correctly, they should be formal and informal, meaning you can use some formal assessments like surveys, checklists, IQ tests, personality tests, cognitive assessments, but also you'll be doing some informal assessment. So just asking your client questions, talking to your client and making observations about their behavior or their demeanor. Those are informal types of assessment. So you'll take those formal assessments and informal assessments to plan your strategies for the client. The helper and the client work together to determine goals. So you're never imposing your goals upon the client, and you're never developing goals without consultation with the client. You develop your goals together. Stage 3 is strategy selection and implementation. Here you help the client understand their issues and the actions that need to take place to bring about change. So insight is helpful. Having your client understand their problems and their issues and even the source of their issues, it's helpful, but it's not enough to bring about the change that they seek. Here, you're skill building. You're helping the client build the skills they need to bring about change. And the strategies are based on your assessment data and are designed to help the client achieve their chosen goals. So you do those formal and informal assessments. You use that information to inform your interventions and use that information to help you achieve the goals that you developed with the client based on their assessment. And the final stage is evaluation and termination. Here you assess the effectiveness of the interventions, but you also assess your effectiveness as a therapist. So there are some, standardized assessments you can use to give the client to assess your effectiveness, but also you want to consistently be checking in with the client and say, how do you find me as a therapist? What parts of my style do you like? What things do you not like? Do you feel like I'm a good fit for you in my personal therapy style? So you're assessing the interventions as well as yourself. You'll also be evaluating the progress the client has made toward the chosen goals. So are they moving toward meeting those goals that you all worked out together? And this information lets you know when it's time for termination. So when it's time to end that therapeutic relationship. And that could be because you're ineffective. You have not been able to help the client progress toward their goals, or they find you not to be fitting with the type of therapist that they personally want. So you may terminate because the work is being ineffective, or you could also terminate because you're going to transfer that client to a different therapist who may be more effective with them, or you could terminate because you have been effective, the client has reached their goals, and so this time at that point to end therapy.